Hi folks, Michael DeCarlo here for decarlosdanger.com. It's approximately, it's about 11:15 here on the 12th of December in the morning, 10:45 in the morning, 12 December Mountain Standard Time here in always sunny, but always tyrannical Sierra Vista, Arizona. Hey, I've been having a conversation with a buddy of mine, a former shipmate of mine or a shipmate of mine. We worked together on recruiting duty in Victorville, California in the 90s, early 90s. We both had very successful tours. He actually was later on in his career, and he became a career counselor. So a Navy career recruiter. And he retired, and he lives in California. And he bitches about illegal immigration all the time. He's really, I don't know, I'm looking for some help here, guys, because I keep telling him, hey, check out Building 7. Just check out Building 7. He's a smart enough guy. He's a former firefighter. All right, so he's got the scientific background that if he applies himself, he'll be able to make some logical, reasonable deductions on how some things aren't the way that they seem that they are. So if anybody can give me any suggestions on a way I can point this guy, because I'm, to be honest with you, if I didn't give a shit about him, I tell him he's full of shit, I don't care. But I do give a shit about him. And I want him to be more aware of everything. So, because he's been programmed like a parrot for the legal immigration thing, like we all been. He lives in Southern California, so it is a big thing there. But if you live along the border, you should expect something like that, in my opinion. Sort of like me here in Sierra Vista, Arizona. Not 20 miles from the crow flies from the international border, but yet, you know what? I am probably at the safest place in the whole international border. This is a wonderful town, a wonderful community. I just wish they'd run it a little bit more efficiency. I wouldn't run it like an Army MWR program, because there's really no accountability, because they think, well, we'll just get more money next time. There's no model of efficiency here at all. None at all. Well, anyway. Got my blood drawn today from the Veterans Administration, so I can go back for a doctor's appointment next week. It was actually pretty, usually when you go to the doctor in the VA, you go in to talk to them, whatever, and then they say, okay, come in 2 days, and we'll get your blood drawn, and then we'll talk to you later. That's another 6 months or a year before you hear from them. So after going through this a couple times, I just finally told the doctor, hey, how about we do this? Every 6 months, I come see you. I said, I'm not here's the deal, though. Why? Okay, I was a submariner, so my good days, my bad days were all the same. I ate next to a nuclear reactor. I drank water next to a nuclear reactor. Smoked nicotine or chewed tobacco next to a nuclear reactor. Slept next to a nuclear reactor, and then I worked next to a nuclear reactor for months at a time. So no matter how safe somebody says it is, you always got to you have to do your own due diligence to take care of yourself. And honestly, realistically, based upon the amount of time that they had to work with this amount of energy, we're still in the infant stage of this stuff, and what the actual byproduct is for those of us who hang around it for a long period of time. Doesn't affect everybody the same. I've lost some shipmates already that are a little bit older than me, a couple that are younger. But it still affects everyone, because all it is it's electromagnetic radiation or energy that's going through your cells, and when it goes through your cells, it splits them in half, and your body's forced to remake them. And when your body remakes cells, there's an opportunity for it to misfire, and that misfire usually ends up turning into a tumor or maybe a penis coming out of my forehead. That's why I wear a hat half the time anymore, because when I talk to people, they'd look at me in the forehead like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, hey man, sorry you couldn't just push back from the trough long enough, see the machine work, and say, this is what I wanted to do. This is what I have to change in order to make that happen. I guess being involved in the dance of life here on the land side, folks have time to get confused and not concentrate on things to make their life better. So, on the same guy from California, there's another fella that I have not met personally, but I've been to Germany, and I know him through some other folks. He's on point as far as, hey, check this out. Look over here. But I don't know what it is about the arrogance of the American people that they think that their shit don't stink. I'm telling you, everybody's shit stinks, folks. Everybody's. I remember being in Germany as a defense contractor about 5 years ago. It was actually my last trip to Germany, so it'd be 4 years ago, now a little bit more 4 years ago. And a gentleman, a younger guy, asked me over a Pilsner or a Hefeweizen. I don't know. It's probably a Pilsner. I might have done a Hefeweizen once in a while, but I was pretty much a Pilsner kind of guy. And he asked me, why do you Americans always want to fight everybody? And at that time, I had done my research and done a little bit of reading about our history and where we're going, and I knew at that time I wasn't that I was shallow-minded. I was just task-oriented. My job was to prepare soldiers, airmen, Marines, and sailors with the ability to deploy to a war zone and come back alive so that they can come home and drink beer and make babies. I actually would say those words, drink beer and make babies, in my classroom as a motivational speech at the very beginning of class. Why they were here. What I was attempting, the knowledge I was attempting to give them on how things work, why they work the way that they do, so that they can be more prepared when they get in theater. And also, the important part is understanding what normal is. Because if you can understand what normal is, when something doesn't quite add up right, your spidey senses go off. Sort of like mine lately. There's stuff in this country, man, that just don't add the hell up. And it's our fault as much as it is anybody else's. However, where do we go other than just telling the truth, putting stuff like this out there and saying, hey, tell me about Building 7. Yeah, the Tri-Towers. Tri-Towers in New York City. You got to change it. You just got to change it from twin to tri. Tri-Towers in New York City, 9/11. Tri-Towers. Tri-Towers. Try to explain Building 7. Peace. Today's segments are sponsored by EGC Racing. For more information, check out evergreencoin.org. Follow me on Facebook or Twitter, but not to the buffet table. If you'd like to donate to decarlosdanger, please do so here. Thank you. Please pay attention so you don't become a sheep.